Hello, Westford! This week we highlight a couple of hot topics for the March 24th annual town meeting. We feature a feasibility study for replacing the current fire station building on Main Street, and we update you on Westford Academy students' efforts towards school security. I'm Ira Keltz, and it's time for WestfordCAT News. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you to please subscribe to our free online publication at westfordcatnews.org. And if your civic or cultural organization has an event coming up, send us the details at news@westfordcat.org, and we'll include it in our daily news email. With annual town meetings scheduled for March 24th, a small group of residents attended a recent preview of the warrant. The March 15th event was presented by Selectmen Chairman Scott Hazelton, Assistant Town Manager Eric Heidemann, and Finance Director Dan O'Donnell. It was sponsored by the Westford League of Women Voters, and member Diane Wood moderated. Two hot-button issues dominated the meeting. One was an effort to initiate a design study for a center traffic signal. The other was a push to reduce the use of plastic bags by local retail outlets. Article 9 was filed by Bill Taffel. It seeks approval for a $55,000 allocation for the design study of a traffic light in the town center. The light would be installed at the intersection of Boston Road and Main Street near the First Parish Church.
The availability of the state funds itself is not the reason for the traffic light, but the need for the traffic light is a good reason to take advantage of the availability of state funds to cover the cost. And if we miss this opportunity and we have to put in a light later, it'll be at full cost to the town.
But selectmen are not recommending the light. Here's Selectmen Chairman Scott Hazelton.
So we take a look at intersections in town in terms of the risk. And this is not a particularly high-risk intersection. I mean, the accident rate is, 92 in 10 years or 9 years. Only half of them actually at this intersection, so 4.5 per year. None of them serious, compared to other spots in town where we're putting lights in at Tadmuck now, at Oak Hill Road next year, at Dunstable Road is on the warrant for the future. So, just from the selectman standpoint, this was not a high-priority intersection.
Another citizen petitioned article by resident Richard Coleman looks to change behavior around the use of plastic bags in town.
I like to think of this bylaw as a teaching moment. If the next time you as a consumer and as you leave a store, you are not given a thin film single-use plastic bag, you will stop and think and ask, why? Those plastic bags are a convenience, not a right. And I know, and you know, that we can get by refusing almost all kinds of plastic bags if we really wish to do so. We've got two hands to carry things out.
Coleman's proposed bylaw is Article 25. You can watch the entire warrant preview meeting at westfordcat.org. Here's News Director Joyce Polino Crane with a highlight from the Selectmen's meeting.
Thanks, Ira. Town Council Greg Corbo of KP Law appeared before Selectmen on March 20th to request that the town join a consortium of local and national law firms. The idea is to help municipalities recover the costs from the opioid crisis. Corbo pointed to the manufacturers, distributors, and retailers of opioids and said they've not been held accountable for the ongoing epidemic. The consortium would go after money to cover the costs of public safety services. That would include the purchase of Narcan, equipment costs, and increased health insurance costs. The group would also create a pool of money that would fund resources to help eliminate the problem.
So the proposal that we have would be that you would hire us and these other law firms on a contingent fee basis, which means that you pay nothing up front and you pay nothing unless there is a recovery in your favor. So the way that we expect that this would work is that if there is a finding of liability or a settlement, there would then be a second phase, a damages phase, at which time each of the affected communities would have an opportunity to document their expenses and seek reimbursement. It is only if you achieve that reimbursement that the law firms get paid anything.
The board voted unanimously to support the proposal and will review the written agreement on March 27th. Selectman Tom Clay, he was absent from the meeting. Selectmen also voted unanimously to support a plan to create a regional taxi initiative in conjunction with Acton, Carlisle, Sudbury, Concord, and Maynard. The idea was presented by Jennifer Claro. She's the director of the Cameron Senior Center. Claro will be ironing out an affordable transportation plan for seniors with representatives from the other towns. The plan would incorporate existing taxi services with an on-demand transportation service provided by a fleet of vetted drivers, something like an Uber service.
So again, the only thing that we're looking at doing is, again, just coming together as municipalities, talking about some of the commonalities that we're struggling with, or we think that we're going to be struggling with in the next 5 to 10 years, and trying to keep up with the increasing needs for transportation.
Watch the entire Selectmen's meeting at westfordcat.org. Back to you, Ira.
Tom Mahanna, chairman of the Permanent Town Building Committee, and architects from Context Architecture of Boston presented the results of a $60,000 feasibility study on replacing the current fire department building on Main Street.
When we went into the study, the primary objective of this was to complete a study that looked at a few components: the large meeting room space, in relocation of IT, provide space for the new facilities department if it gets funded at town meeting, obviously, and the veterans agent. So that was kind of the key objectives of this study.
The 8,800 square foot building is estimated to cost $4.89 million. A new fire station is under construction at Blake's Hill and Boston Roads and is expected to be completed by mid to late fall. About 20 Westford Academy students participated in a brief ceremony in support of school security and gun control on March 15th. The students had planned to participate in the nationwide walkout on March 14th, honoring the 17 Parkland, Florida students and adults killed by a mass shooter on February 14th. But a snow day stymied those plans. The gathering was sanctioned by the school committee on March 12th, and here's Westford Academy Principal James Antonelli.
It's what we put together. Last week we had an opportunity to meet with area superintendents and principals at Valley Collaborative. Very similar events taking place throughout the Merrimack Valley, Dual County League and so forth. So I feel like we've got a really good outline, and there's no textbook for this. You know, this is something that Bill and I conversed over and texted back over February vacation, and I know he felt very strongly, and when I saw that I felt the same way, that these are young adults, and they're articulate, they're smart, and I think that we can do this in an appropriate manner to really show our solidarity to the victims of Parkland, Florida, and to address school safety, because it is a major issue. Being a principal of a school of 1,750 students, it's an enormous responsibility, and I take it on each day. But it is not without something in the back of my mind as I enter the parking lot every day, which I never thought that would be the case 25 years ago.
You can watch the entire school committee meeting at WestfordCat westfordcat.org. Here's Superintendent Bill Olson with news from the schools.
Hi, this is Superintendent of Schools Bill Olson with a school system update. At a recent school committee meeting, we had a very good conversation with members of the community who were able to attend a 90-minute public forum on school safety. I was accompanied by our building principals, by our assistant superintendent, by the police chief, fire chief, and our school resource officer, and our director of guidance at the 6 through 12 level. We talked about many of the issues associated with school violence, and those focused on the people aspect, mental health issues. We didn't really get into weapons, but we know that's part of the equation because it wasn't not a discussion about gun control and weapons in general. And we also talked about, very importantly, the measures we have taken in the school system to try and prevent the entry and try to prevent any violence within our schools by a person who might have ill intent. So it was a great discussion. I encourage you to watch that school committee meeting, that public forum. That was the meeting of March 19th, 2018. So I look forward to seeing you next time, and thank you for watching.
Iggy, an 11-year-old male domestic short-haired cat, is available for adoption now at the Lowell Humane Society. Here's Patty Stalker with more.
Stop by the Lowell Humane Society this week and meet Iggy, an affectionate 11-year-old male cat who likes to chill and chat with mature individuals. Here's volunteer Mary Rockwood with more.
Hi, I'm Mary Rockwood. I'm a volunteer here at the Lowell Humane Society, and this week we have a lovely cat named Iggy. He's an 11-year-old domestic short hair. He's been here since December 5th, and we're looking for a home for him with no young children. Not sure about cats, but a nice cat-savvy couple with maybe some older children would be great. He is an absolute love bug. He likes to stay in his little house. And he's out, he's eating. He loves to eat when people are around. He's a social eater. So while you're eating dinner, he'll eat dinner on the floor right next to you. He is a purrer. He loves to purr. He loves to talk. He just loves to be with people. He's a very social cat. He likes people. He usually sits in here. This is his little throne. He was surrendered because the family had a toddler, and the toddler was just too much for him to take. I can understand that. There were a lot of energy. Just to let you know that Iggy does have some medical issues which require special food and a vet reference, so that we know that he's being taken care of by a vet. So if this is a good match and you feel you'd love to meet Iggy, please come down to the Lowell Humane Society and meet this little bundle of love. Oh, buddy.
If you'd like to learn more about Iggy or any of the other pets available now for adoption, or would like to learn how to volunteer, foster a pet, donate, or fill their wish list, visit their website at lowellhumanesociety.org. They're located at 951 Broadway Street in Lowell. Call 978-452-7781. You can also find them on Facebook. For Westford Cat, I'm Patty Stalker.
Rekha Sharma brings you information on the health benefits of barley.
Hi everyone, I'm Rekha Sharma, your Ayurveda practitioner, back with a new health tip for WestfordCAT News. Today I'm going to talk about health benefits of barley. Osteoporosis is a common problem, and barley is rich in calcium and manganese, which is required for the normal bone production. It improves the overall skin health and is rich in selenium. It also boosts the immunity and balances the elements of the body. It is anti-asthmatic, maintains healthy gut bacteria, and prevents colon cancer. It also reduces overall stress. So add some barley in your cooking and baking needs to get the benefits. If you have any allergies, please contact your PCP before consuming. I'll be back with a new health tip. Bye for now.
Spring is here, Westford, and hopefully some warmer days coming with it. Here's the weather as provided by weather.com. WestfordCAT volunteer Betsy Alvarez is here with suggestions for things to do around town.
Thanks, Syra. The 4-H Carrot Crusaders Club members will be at the J.V. Fletcher Library with bunnies and guinea pigs for you to pet on March 29 from 4 to 5 p.m. The club members will be ready to answer your questions and tell you about caring for a pet. The event is free for all ages and no registration is required. For more information, visit westfordlibrary.org. Westford Family Fun Fest invites you to take part in their first annual Spring Festival of Wreaths, Creative Gingerbreads, and Fairy Gardens and Gnome Houses. The festival is being held at the Westford Regency Inn, 219 Littleton Road through Monday, April 2nd. The hotel lobby is decorated with the creations. Vote for your first choice and bid on selected items. Admission is free of charge. For information, visit westford.org/funfest. Dandiya Nights, a popular folk dance tradition from Western India, takes place on Sunday, April 1st from 3 to 6 p.m. at the Parish Center for the Arts. Westford residents are invited to learn how to do this so-called stick dance. Admission is $5. For more information, visit westford.org/PCA. I'm Betsy Alvarez, a community volunteer for WestfordCAT. If you're interested in helping with the news or with any other services WestfordCAT provides, email the station at westfordcat@westfordcat.org. Back to you, Ira.
That's it for this week, Westford. We leave you with video of the award-winning works of art at the Westford Regional Art Event, sponsored by the Parish Center for the Arts.